The issue of Gay Delap comes up again. So if you imagine, in the same week, thieves steal £10,000 worth of bikes from a London car park, and the frail 77-year-old woman is sent back to prison because her wrists are too small for the electronic tag. And these incidents, so seemingly unrelated, they are unrelated, completely unrelated. They reveal the profound inadequacy of our criminal justice system. On the one hand, we've got something that the police are unable to deal with because they don't have enough resources, and on the other, we've got punishing a minor act of civil disobedience, which may have caused problems. I don't in any way underestimate the problems that were caused by Just Stop Oil activism and their gluing themselves to the road and all this sort of nonsense. But at the same time, there is a difference between the theft of bicycles and the size of somebody's wrist or leg. Gay Delap, a dedicated environmental activist from Just Stop Oil, was sentenced to 20 months for participating in disruptive climate protests. And despite the irritation that these protests caused and the fury of parliamentary ministers, they hardly merit the incarceration at the cost of £50,000 a year. That's a greater expense than sending somebody to a private school. Yet, because of this inflexible bureaucracy, Gaye was recalled to prison when her tag didn't fit her wrists because of deep vein thrombosis and didn't fit her leg because of deep vein thrombosis. And compare this to how bike thefts are handled. Despite police efforts, or because there are no police efforts, the thefts go unresolved, with cases closed because of a lack of resources. Camden Police, supposedly stretched thin, can't pursue tangible crimes, yet resources are wasted imprisoning an elderly activist. Enter Serco. This is the private company that manages the electronic tagging in prisons or outside prisons, and its record includes charging for tags on dead or absent individuals and a £93 million settlement for contract breaches. Despite its substantial profits and Mark Irwin, the CEO's multi-million-pound salary, Serco couldn't find a tag to fit or to deal with Gay's medical needs and couldn't adjust its tagging system. And she was sent back to prison because of the inadequacy of our bureaucracy, not because of her failure. And this epitomizes the idea of profit over proper humane treatment. And the irony deepens when placed against the overcrowded prisons and the thousands of offenders who were released early because of a lack of space. Yet Gaye was re-imprisoned because of a technical failure beyond her control. The prisons minister hasn't intervened. Why not? It showcases a system more concerned with punishment than with justice. And Gay's case reflects broader issues with anti-protest law under the Police Crime Sentencing and Courts Act and the Public Order Act. These laws, both supported by both the Conservatives and the Labour governments, impose harsher penalties on activists, undermining the right to protest, that even the UN has criticised these measures as draconian, harsher penalties than many other crimes. Why? There's harsher penalties in Britain for somebody who breaks bail, but is still a national figure and is clearly identifiable and can clearly whose movements can clearly be traced, like Assange or Tommy Robinson. Harsher penalties, and then they find themselves in prison in solitary confinement. How is that possible? This isn't to undermine their crimes. This is to question the consistency of the prison and the justice system. Corporate misdeeds like Serco's result in fines, not imprisonment, yet individuals like Gaye face incarceration because the system can't accommodate her medical needs. It's a disparity that reveals a system that is more forgiving to those who profit from inefficiency and profit from the nudge-nudge, wink-wink approach to business than those who challenge it. Just Stop Oil's tactics, while divisive, are born of desperation in the face of government inaction on climate change, and demonising activists like Gaye distracts from their cause and the urgent need for sustainable policies. Gay's story isn't just about her wrist size, it's about criminal justice that prioritises punishment over pragmatism and bureaucracy over humanity. And as Gaie turns 78, I hope this system will come to value justice over rigidity, and can distinguish between a frail activist and the real threats to society. Because ultimately it's not just Gaie who's shackled, it's all of us who are bound by the failures of a broken system. And Najati,